So, you're thinking about promoting your business on Spotify, but not sure how to start. Creating audio ads. Don't sweat it. You can make audio ads for free when you run a campaign on our self-serve advertising manager, Spot.
Hello, hello. Hi, happy Thursday. Hi, Surrounded by Pirates. Hi, Tatsuo. It's Lolli time. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing good. Right, we're gonna get some Yukimaro action going, hopefully. Let's see, let me pull my walkthrough up. Okay. I think I'm on chapter 5? 6? I guess we'll see. 412. Wow! Wow, wow, wow! Keep up the great work. That's very exciting, Tatsuo. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I don't know if we'll die trying, but maybe. Maybe that is what's in the stars for us. But yeah. Tatsuo, you should make 444 your next like mini milestone. Do something nice. Order 4 things you like. Alrighty. Solamate. Alright. Okay. Yeah, anyways, hope y'all are doing good. My day was I don't know, I had a bit of a I'm not feeling 100%. I feel all right now, but not 100. So we're gonna do our best. I'm not hurting or anything like that. I definitely wanted to do this. It's just I just haven't had a lot of energy today. So, all right, let's get cracking. All right, who's using the software? I'm using the software. 120% overdrive turbo. Wait, oh no, Tatsuo bronchitis. That's not good. Mm-mm. Maybe I need food. I don't know if that's it. I think it's something else. But steal someone else's throat. But then we'll all be in a deficit. Because then that person will need something, and then they'll have to steal someone else's throat. Yeah, I got those. I think doing what I can, and I don't. I don't think those are what I need. Because if they were what I need, I'd be fine. But all right, we're gonna continue. Okay, we're on chapter 6. Chapter 6. Maybe what I don't need is an armchair diagnosis. I'm okay. I have a general idea of like what could be happening. I don't need to go into it. Like it's fine. I think you're just trying to be helpful, and I can appreciate that. I just I'm fine. And if I'm not, I can always make that determination and then stop. So all good, all good. Let's just enjoy our time. Yeah. Like I understand it comes from a good place surrounded by perverts, but Alrighty. We returned back home. I sat back down at the dining table and reflected on my conversation with Yukimaro. I'm glad we made up. That's right. Last episode, we got a bit of a tiff, I guess, because he didn't feel like we were like being our true self about some of the decisions we made. So I reminisced about our time at the beach. I felt a little embarrassed, but more than anything, I felt happy. Opening up to him had brought me joy. But can I really continue to be honest with him? I felt shy and wondered if I really would be able to stay honest with him. I wonder where Yukimaru went. Before we arrived home, Yukimaru mentioned that he had something to do and ran off somewhere. I'm sure he'll be back soon. I'll take a bath after I finish eating. Is he gonna show up in the bath? One of them pervert ghosts. I rang. So, after my bath, I went back to my room and began preparing for school the next day. Then I heard a knock at my door. One sec. Mochi barked when I just read that bit. You were in caregiver mode because you just wished a therapy. Oh, you just finished a therapy kind words stream. I see. I hope it went well. Yeah. Sure. I mean, it's. I think we're fine. So there's no, no need to make any excuses. No need for any more apologies. We're good. We're good. So let's move forward.
ちょっと良いかの
Yukimaru looked troubled, causing my smile to tighten. Yes, of course. Come in. I let Yukimaru into my room and waited for him to speak.
実はさっきまで今日のことをいろいろ考えていたのだが気になったことがあっての
Yukimaru paused, gathering his courage before continuing.
昼間はあのようなことがあって伝えられずにいたのだが
1 second, I gotta pause because Mochi's borking about something, so I'm gonna just check on her real quick. BRB. Hey, we're fine. She was just working at the cat. All good. But I went and got a hot tamale while I was up. The candy, not actual tamale.
そなたは甘いものに関することで良い気を放っておったのだ
A positive aura? That's right, we had a little parfait date. I tilted my head, puzzled. He did say he was going to watch my aura to find out what interests me. Green Yoshi, hi! Happy Thursday, hope you're doing well. You haven't missed much, we're just recapping. Last time we had a date with Yukimaru. We got some parfait. What do hot tamales taste like? They're just like red hots or cinnamon imperials. I guess they're also called. They're just a cinnamon candy. That's chewy. So like Mike and Ike's, that like chewiness and shape, but like spicy. So good, and same to me. Thank you, Green Yoshi. I appreciate it. Yes. Alrighty. Yeah, I hope you're having a good Thursday. And yeah. Mochi says hi. I had to go check on her a second ago. She's just getting all, getting all up in the cat's business, so. Hi, Mochi. She's doing all right now. Sometimes she gets a little, nosy around the kennel because she's just like, oh, maybe the cat, dropped some food or some, poop. So Mochi's pretty gross. If it were up to her, she would. I mean, she has eaten cat poo before. It's very gross. So now I have to be real careful. That's why I actually don't leave her unattended in the backyard and stuff like that. Just because, you just never know. You never know what any cats are gonna leave out there. So There is some other cat. His name is Marley. He belongs to the neighbor 2 houses down. And Marley sometimes comes up to the porch and just makes eyes into the window. Nosy! Speaking of nosy, somebody came ringing my doorbell today, and I was just like, nope. I don't know what I don't know. Legit, they could have needed something, but I think likely, like, I have I would say 90% feeling they were probably somebody who's trying to like be like, have you fixed your roof lately? We're roofers that are just around in the neighborhood fixing someone else's roof. And it's like, yeah. I'll look for you when it's time. The IRS came knocking for me. Oh, even better that I didn't open. And they're like, Lolli, I saw that you were selling a lot of crypto. It's like, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. Nah. But if it was somebody who's like trying to like, you know, pester me about like, you know, some kind of like their business, I'll be pretty annoyed because I have 2 signs that say no soliciting. I have a little flag that says no soliciting, go on get, and then on the actual like ring doorbell itself, there's a little sticker that says no soliciting. So if you still solicit, I should be able to, I don't know, throw a water balloon at you, something like that. It's true. I love desserts, and they make me really happy, but especially the parfaits at that cafe. It makes sense that I would have a good aura then. Do you think desserts might have something to do with what I should do?
その通りじゃ。あのような気を放つそなたを見たのは初めてだったのでな。
That's a good one. Solicitors will be shot with a water gun. But then I just have lasers on the porch. Just kidding. Water lasers. You've posted several signs on the door directing people where to go, yet they chose to knock every time. Sign means nothing. Boo! Oh, game has echo? I know what's happening. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. I forgot to, there's one of the sound bits I toggle off. So, thank you for letting me know. It was just ethereal, because Yukimaru's a god. Working in retail has taught that people do not read. Yeah, and here's the thing, like, I remember working retail, and I get that, like, I work there, and I know where things are, and it is kind of sensory overload when you, like, walk into a store, you know? So I get that a little bit, but the no soliciting sign, I definitely don't think they have any, there's no excuses. Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Green Yoshi. You are 100% correct. Yep. So it should be good now. Let me know if it's still acting up. Let's see. I see. If Yukimaru feels so strongly about it, maybe I should trust him.
我は思ったのだ。もしやそなたは
Okay, I'm super into parfaits, so maybe I should be one of those, like, mukbang content creators. Green Yoshi, thank you so much for the lads. Redemption. Any particular boyfriendo? You crave apples? Asiatic apples? You got it. You got it. Ta-da! Also fixed. Yay! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's right. On the docket, I do need to change out. I need to put more shirtless boys. So we'll do that. Shirtless boys. All right, 10-minute timer starts now. Thank you. All right. we're gonna get some upgrades around here. All right. But going back to like mukbang, like, I don't know. I feel like that would have been really cool a while. Yeah. In a different life, I would have liked to have been a food mukbang, you know, like streamer. Because I think I'm a good eater. And that would be fun. Yeah. Draw a property brand on them. No, but they're still people. They're just nice looking people. Not property. They're people. Yukimaru looked so earnest that I tensed, waiting.
フードファイターへの道が良いのかもしれん。
A competitive eater. I don't think I would have liked the competition part. Only competing with myself. Yeah. There's a gal that I like. I think she's South Korean. Her name's Su Yang, and she's so cute. And like I said, just a good eater. It's just a bunch of videos of her going to places where they don't believe she can eat the amount of things that she orders, and then she does, and then it's just a bunch of old people being like, "Wow, I've never seen that." I think I would like to play like that. Yeah. She's awesome. Although I heard another content creator, Stephanie Sue, was telling a story about her, and so it's kind of like sad to hear that like apparently previously like she was in like kind of a bad situation, and so like some of her videos you could see she's like got bandages on and like just not a really like good situation behind the scenes, but it sounds like that's sorted from what I understood in the video. So I think she's in a better place now, I think. So yeah, that made me really sad to hear, but it was so, and I think what made it like beyond sad that like that happens to anybody, the extra sad part was just that she's always so smiley and you know like and she's just going through something and she's still able to put on a smile like that. It hurts, you know. So like I said, I hope she's all good now, and you know that person, or you know, the person who is inflicting hurt and harm is, you know, hopefully they got the boot, and yeah. So and that she's doing good for herself. So. But yeah, I mean, that's such a interesting, like, or interesting's not the word. It's kind of a crazy phenomenon that there's like that that situation's not unique, unfortunately, in that sometimes there are like people who are streaming and it's just kind of like, are you streaming because you want to, or are you streaming because you have to, you know? So hopefully she's doing all of this now, where on her terms, and making all the money and actually enjoying all the food. That's gotta be rough though, because I gotta imagine that like, I feel like I would need to test run like a restaurant. Like I wouldn't be able to just like blind go in and be like, hey, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna eat like 20 of the same dish and hope that it's good, you know, like Kirby for the love of the game. Yeah, it does. It feels like a bit of a dare, that it's just kind of like, oh, here's this thing, and it's like, oh no, I've committed to eating so many of these, and it's so bad. Surely that happens, you know? Because I've done that before, or like there was this place that had like a big bowl of pho challenge, and it's a big bowl, and if you finish within like X time, then it's, you know, really like, or like it's free basically. And it's like, oh, awesome. But like they don't make it very good, so it's just kind of like, if this was delicious, I could do this challenge, but it's not delicious. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Not worth. Exactly. And my favorite though is so there's a famous like mukbang artist, no, he wasn't a mukbang, sorry, competitive eater. His name is Kobayashi. He's a little Japanese guy, and he would do the like Coney Island hot dog eating contest. Like he'd fly in to like do it, and he was like really good at it. Like he won multiple times at that one, and I think some people were upset because it's just like, he's not even an American, and it's on the 4th of July and blah blah blah. It's like, get good, like that's not his fault that his competitors can't eat good. Eventually somebody, I mean, he's been beaten at that before too, but like I know that there was some salt, you know. But anyways, he was like a really dominant person on that like food eating scene for a while that they like made him compete against a bear. It was a hot dog eating contest against a bear. And it was like, that's crazy. And of course the bear dominated because it's a bear. I don't think the bear even chewed. Like, I think the bear was just kind of like, the bear Kirby'd it. Yeah. If you were him, you'd bring your country's flag and wave it to taunt. Yeah. I don't know. They might like try and like block him at customs. It's like, now we've got money on this game. Winner gets to eat the loser. Yeah. So Yukimaru wants us to be a competitive eater. Excuse me? Is he joking? His expression looks so serious though.
ほれ、テレビでやってるだろう。ガツガツと気持ちよいほどに食べる競技じゃ。
Yeah, I know what you are talking about, but I don't see myself doing that. I mean, I like sweets as much as the next person, but it's not like I could eat that much. There's no way I'm becoming a competitive eater.
ふむ、違ったかの?
Yukimaru seemed disappointed. I don't really love that he picked that career for me, but suddenly all my tension dissipated. I appreciate Yukimaru thinking about my future so seriously. But come on, a competitive eater? The idea grew funnier the more I thought about it. I was struggling to hold back laughter when Koharu and Toka suddenly showed up.
フードファイターって、お前な。
未だ見習いなのがようやく分かったです。雪丸さん、ちょっとずれてるですね。
Oh dang, somebody got roasted here. That's why you're still in training. That's why you are not paid the big bucks, sir.
甘いもの好きってのからどうしてそうなるんだよ。普通に考えたらパティシエとかだろ。
パティシエ A pastry chef.
我だって真剣に考えたんだもん。
Yukimaru pouted, visibly upset, but Koharu remained unfazed by his reaction. A pastry chef? I do love sweets. They're my little moment of peace. Whenever I'm sitting down with a nice little dessert, I feel so at ease.
しかし、なんで今更なんだ？こいつが甘いもん食ってるのは今日が初めてじゃないだろう。
So the other day, was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. I went to the dentist and I got to watch the Great British Bake Off while they cleaned my teeth. And that's the only time I think about it. It's like, oh, it'd be nice to like know how to bake, because then I could make some of those things and then I could eat some of those things. But I did, yeah. But that's the only time I feel that way. That's one of the few times that I feel that way. Because otherwise I'm just like, nah, I ain't no baker. But sometimes though, it's just like, oh, it would be so expensive to get that thing. Or some of their combos are really interesting. They made this like, there was one contestant who, he wanted to infuse a lot of like Bengali like flavors and like flavor profiles into like a savory tart, and it looked really good. It was like he made this like plum chutney like on the bottom of the tartlet, and then like this chickpea curry on top. It looked really good. Yeah, I don't know what it smelled like, but I imagine it probably smelled really, really good. I like that, or I don't know what that combo wombo is like, but I do like the sweet mixed with the 10-minute timer is up. Thank you so much again, Green Yoshi, for your redemption. Appreciate it. Caleb's got to go back to the fleet just for a bit. Either that or the bathtub. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna send you some I'll drop some screenshots in the Discord later, but like Zane's been looking weird. Aye! Alright. You crave grape soda, you got it. Alright, that is Koharu. Grape soda. Let me move him a little bit more. He's on the screen twice. He's like, oh my gosh, is that me? Yay, thank you for the redemption again. All right, Koharu hanging out with us for 10 minutes. Yeah. Wait for me in the bath, babe. Yeah, no, something there, it's been Zane particularly. Just some of the angles that I've taken a picture of him is very uncanny valley. Like something is wrong with his eyes. Yeah. He does come with a drop shadow. That's true. It's very it's very spirit board of him. Yeah. I'll show you what I mean. I'll like I said, I'll drop it in after stream, but you can tell me your thoughts of like, does his eyes look weird? Like if he were a painting, it would be one of those creepy ones that eyes follow you. So it's like, ee. All right. That's a good point.
それが我にもわからなくての。何か特別なものでもあるのかとさっきもあの喫茶店に行ってきたのだ。
So that's where he ran off to. I was so happy when I realized he had gone all the way back to the cafe for me.
喫茶店ってあなたが子供の頃からお気に入りのところですか？
Exactly. How did you know?
それはそうです。僕はあなたの
ストーカーだったのであろう。わかっておるのじゃ。まったく我だってこれからは負けじとストーキングするのだ。
Oh my. Is that something to brag about? It's like, I can stalk anyone you can stalk. I can stalk better. I can stalk anyone better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Please don't.
あの喫茶店は特別な思い入れのある場所なんです。だからいつもより気が濃くなったんだと思うです。
Yes, a stalker contest. The stockening. A stock off. The stockening. That's actually a pretty good point. We all used to go there as a family.
話してくれんか？そなたにとってあの喫茶店がどういう場所なのかを。
From the hit musical Lolli Ghost. Stuck it to ya. It also makes me think of the stalk you and also to you. Peace be with you. Stalk be with you. Sure, I don't mind. I let out a little sigh and then opened up to everyone. I have memories of my whole family at that cafe. Back when my dad was still alive, sometimes just the two of us would go for a walk there. He'd let me order whatever I wanted for dessert.
お父さんはいつものパフェにするけど、お前は何がいいかな？
I'll take some of yours, so I'll get juice.
またほとんど食べられちゃうな。
I loved when Dad fed me as I sat next to him, so I always used that excuse.
まあでも、お前の幸せそうに食べる顔が見られれば、それでお腹いっぱいになるからいいか。
Oh, what a sweet, happy dad. My time with my dad was short, which made that place all the more special to me. I guess it was the same with that parfait, too. After Dad was hospitalized, Mom often took us to that cafe after we visited him in the hospital. Even as a kid, I sensed Dad's health slowly fading. On our way home, I'd often become sad and withdrawn. Whenever my mom saw my sister and I like that, she'd always say, "Let's go eat something sweet," and take us to the cafe.
あなたはここのパフェが大好きね。毎回それなんだから。
Well, it makes me happy. I feel like Dad's here with me. That parfait made me feel close to him. Maybe that's why it became so special to me.
それじゃあ、お母さんもそうしようかしら。
私も
After Dad was hospitalized, Mom always seemed sad. So did my sister. The only time we all smiled was at that cafe. The little happiness we found there meant everything to me. We're here for our dead dad dessert. Or dying dad dessert. That's too soon. That's too soon? That's rude. I'll take that back. Dear dad. We're here for our dear dad dessert. That's nicer. Yeah. Yeah! It's got my tears in it. After I shared my story, Yukimaro took my hand.
そのような場所に案内してくれて心から嬉しく思う。
I just wanted to see you smile too, Yukimaro.
僕も行きたかった。
Then let's all go together next time. You'll come too, right, Koharu?
ああ、楽しみにしている。
Look at how cranky pants his face is. No, for the one where he's accompanying me versus like on the screen. Smiley boy, frowny boy.
はーい、楽しみだな。
We haven't even gone to the cafe yet, and already they're all smiles.
お、そうじゃ。あそこで働いてみるのはどうだ？
What? That's like a part-time job?
そうじゃ。興味が湧いてくるやもしれん。
You say that, but I can't really picture what I'd be interested in. I haven't made anything sweet since I baked cookies for Sayaka in junior high. And I've never worked part-time before.
わからぬから働いてみるのだ。何事も挑戦してこそなのだぞ。
His encouraging words nudged me forward. The idea of working part-time was daunting, but that was no reason not to try. And besides, there was the one time I visited the cafe alone and the owner suggested the same thing to me.
そうだ、よかったらさ、うちでバイトしてみない？君が来てくれたら助かるよ。このお店を熟知している人だからね。
I couldn't imagine working back then, so I turned him down. But now, you see, the owner of that cafe once asked me if I'd like to work there part-time.
おお、ちょうどいいではないか。
そうだな。可能性があるなら飛び込んでみるのも悪くないだろう。
ですです。それに誘われていたなら合格間違いなしです。
I'll talk to my mom about it then. It's school policy to get a guardian's approval before starting part-time work. Koharu, Toka, and Yukimaro smiled when I shared my decision with them. Their support bolstered my confidence.
善は急げ。思い立ったが吉日じゃ。母上はこの時間ならまだ起きているのではないか？
You're right. I'll go speak with her now. Leaving them in my room, I made my way to the living room. The Lolli is a part-timer era. I love it. Better than the Lolli came back as a vending machine. So what? That's a better one. When I reached the living room, I saw Mom sitting on the sofa, deeply engrossed in watching whatever was on TV. Oh, maybe it's another Korean drama. Watching Korean dramas was one of my mom's hobbies. With her late nights and early mornings, it was rare for her to be able to catch shows live. She'd record them, then binge watch them whenever she found some spare time. I knew how much she looked forward to these moments. But the funny thing is she's not watching K-dramas, she's just watching K-pop idols like me. She's just watching Stray Kids. Oh, also, Stray Kids are coming out with like a movie experience. That's been kind of like the theme lately. It's like watch your bands in the movie theater, which I quite like actually. So Stray Kids are coming out in February, I think? February or March? Something like that. Yeah. You didn't realize your mom was MC's mom. Hi, Carrie. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm excited to go see them in the theater. Lore accurate mom. Yeah. I mean, maybe she's watched. There's some good K-dramas out there, I will say. I think one of the, yeah, I like some. Although my my sister-in-law, she's into K-drama too, but she likes the really, really sappy ones, like, you know. And a lot of them have similar recipes where it's just kind of like, you know, a bunch of like, will they, won't they? And then like a dramatic fainting happens, and you know, and that gives us give the character an opportunity to like embrace each other because they gotta catch the other person. It's very cheese melodrama, some of it, but yeah. So she's a woman of culture, indeed. Like I said, it's not that I don't mind some of those, but there are other ones where it's just like, oh, okay, here we go. So, all right. Thank you again, Green Yoshi, for your redemption. That is Koharu's 10 minutes. This is her time to relax. I'd hate to disturb her. Still, Yukimaru advised me to seize the moment, so I was eager to discuss it immediately, but if she's this into her drama, she might have the day off tomorrow or a late shift. Maybe I should just talk to her tomorrow.
ちょっと来て。
She noticed me before I could leave and motioned me to sit next to her on the couch. Yeah, the soda and apples were yummy. Yay! I'm so glad, Green Yoshi. I got 2 visitors today. Woohoo! What is it?
これこれ。
I walked up to her and she giggled. She picked up the plate on the table with a delicious-looking piece of chocolate cake on top.
今日職場でいただいたのよ。一つしかないからこっそり食べようかなって思っていたのだけれど。甘いものに目がないあなたに見つかってしまっては、半分こにするしかないわね。
Ooh, this is a good segue. It's like, speaking of sweets. Though she feigned disappointment, she seemed happy to have someone to share the cake with. You're the one who called me over, Mom. But it's true, I did catch you. I'd love to split it with you. Happy as I was at the surprise piece of cake, I was even happier that she had invited me over to sit with her. I quickly grabbed a plate and fork from the kitchen and sat beside her. She then carefully divided the cake, giving me the slightly larger piece. Aw, that's very sweet. And as she did so, she gave me a knowing smile.
一人でこっそり食べるよりも、こうして誰かと分け合って食べる方がずっと美味しいでしょ?
No, that's very sweet. Actually, that reminds me of a manhwa that I started reading that's let's see. I don't want to give too much of the like premise away. And mainly because what's happening like current day is kind of dumb in the story, but there was like a little sweet flashback that was just like very like it had minimal amount of words, and just the panels, the expressions in the panels just told so much of the story. It was very, very sweet. Like it was you know, 2 characters that are kind of at odds now in present time, but in the past they were, you know, very you know, very much in each other's, you know, like each other's world. It was very, very sweet. And so like that's like one of the things that's like you know, that I really liked, that they were just kind of showcasing like how much care, and it was like a small subtle thing, but like one of them starts like growing taller than the other, and he doesn't want to, like he doesn't want their dynamic to change, and so he kind of like, you know, he sees this in the reflection at the store. They're like getting ice cream, and he sees that he's like getting taller, and so he starts like hunching down, like making himself smaller. And the other kid notices, and it's just kind of like, oh, like, you know, and doesn't realize like why he's doing it, but he knows something is off, and he's just like, oh, is anybody picking on you? Like, if anyone's picking on you again, like, you tell me, and I'll beat them up, you know. And it's like, okay. And so he gets his ice cream, and it's one of those like popsicles that you like split. So he splits it. It splits unevenly. So he gives the bigger half to the other kid, which is very sweet. And he's just like, yeah. So like, you know,
like, I'm always here for you, that kind of thing. And the other kid was, very happy. And so he's like, yeah. And so he ends up feeding him the bigger part, it's like, I just thought that was very sweet. They're both so giving. Yeah. So, and they were roommates. No, they were neighbors. And yeah. So, and now they're kind of a little bit at odds for reasons. So, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, like that sequence was very, very good. The rest of it is just like, I will accept. I will still read this one, but there's parts of it that is just like, oh, if you weren't so like beautifully drawn, I don't know that I would read this. We'll see. I mean, they could turn it around, but yeah. Anyways. I totally agree.
そうだ、あなたも見る？まだ始まったばかりのドラマだから、今から見てもわかると思う。
Maybe I'll watch a little bit. I enjoy dramas too, but more importantly, I wanted to spend this time with my mom. Lately, the tension between us was high, and having the opportunity to spend time together warmed my heart.
あなた、昔から甘いものが大好きよね。
She probably thinks I'm just happy because of the cake.
ほら、あの近所の喫茶店。あそこに行くときなんて飛び上がるほど喜んで、決まってパフェを頼むのよね。
Well, yeah, their parfaits are the best. Her mention of the cafe was perfect. Seeing an opportunity, I set my plate down on the table and turned to face her. I actually wanted to talk to you about that. I get this might sound kind of naive, but, well, you know how much I love desserts and sweet things? So I thought, I don't know, maybe I could do something related to that? She looked surprised, but set her plate down to give me her full attention.
それは盲点だったわ。確かに、あなたの好きなものってそうよね。それなら、パティシエ方面ということかしら。
I was bracing for her to dismiss the idea. However, hearing her consider it, or at least take it seriously, meant the world to me. This is so different from the career in medicine she envisioned for me. And like Koharu, she suggested the idea of me becoming a pastry chef. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I want to explore what interests me. So I thought about starting with a part-time job at that cafe. You might be upset about me getting a job now, but...
そんなことないわ。
My mom swiftly interrupted me, her tone firm. Her gaze was kind but direct, leaving me speechless. Let's go to France and learn. So we can't even go work part-time in our neighborhood, man. Yeah. When, Mom? She's not allowed to have a part-time job while she's in school? I guess she needs to go to school.
何かをやるのに時期なんて関係ないのよ。例えば、1年後に進路が定まっていなくてもいいの。
Let the ghosts fly us to France. I don't think so. I think we'd just encounter French ghosts.
自分の道を見定める時間に期限なんてないと、そう思うから。
Did I misunderstand that? Oh, I misunderstood. I was like, you might be upset about me getting a job now. And she goes, of course not. And I thought, I misunderstood that. I thought she was just like, you cannot get a job. But I see. We meet the ghost of Marie Antoinette. Oh, that's pastry related. Let them in cake. But the cake is a lie. Mom. She spoke as though she was fully at peace. Her support wasn't out of guilt or resignation. It seemed as though she genuinely wanted me to find my own way. Also, she needed me to chip in for bills, because she's been floating this household for a while. Because of what we went through in the past, my heart felt unbelievably full, and I wanted to cry. Your college friend has documents proving she's a descendant of Marie Antoinette. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I always wonder about that. Like, I hear people, who like like there was somebody who's just like, oh, there's like somewhere in their lineage it's like some Jesse James. Wait. Jesse James? The cowboy shooter. Maybe. Jesse Jones? Jesse James. Yeah. Jesse the Kid? I don't know. Somebody. The Team Rocket duo, exactly. Somebody has some Pikachu in their lineage.
やってみなさい。あなたの好きなように、自由にね。
She then reached out, gently stroking my hair. Thank you. Her touch brought tears to my eyes. Emotions I'd tried to bottle up were coming out.
ちょっと泣かないで。お母さんももらい泣きしちゃうじゃない。
Mom chuckled and her eyes started glistening with tears.
お礼を言うのはお母さんの方よ。
Jesse James was a bank robber. Was he? I didn't know if Jesse James was like like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, like that kind of. Okay. Jesse James you think is right, but criminal. Okay. Okay. Because I remember there was like outlaws. Yeah. He's an outlaw because I think he had something where his heart was slightly not like either it was like on the opposite side or something like that, and like so people would try and like he didn't die in a bunch of like shoot-offs because they didn't strike where his heart actually was. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is all hearsay. These are all things that I remember as a kid. So I have not fact checked. But that was what was relayed to me. So
私の間違った導きがあったというのに、曲がらずまっすぐに育ってくれて。
If anything, it was the way my mom raised me. Despite all our challenges, I am who I am because of her. There was so much I wanted to tell her, but I found myself unable to do so. Seeing me on the verge of tears again, she cheerfully shifted the mood.
ほら、食べてしまいましょう。それと、テレビ。
The first example you found was a Thai woman who got executed. I'm not familiar with this person. But I have heard a funny story about... It's funny because it ended up all right, I guess. But this woman... I think she was like... I think her husband was a bit of a bastard, deadbeat, and it was in a time when, like, you could not divorce your husband. You just had to put up with it. And she was like, nah, I'm gonna divorce him. And they didn't like that, and so I don't know if he tried to murder her or like something happened. Like so she was no, either she was murdered or she was like formally executed for something, but she didn't die. And so when she like she was just like so when like somebody was like transporting the bodies and was just like, oh shoot, you're not dead. And she's just like, no, I'm not. And they're just like, cool, well, you're dead in the eyes of the law, so you could go live your life and be free. And she's like, cool, I'm gonna do that. And so she lived happily ever after, maybe. So even if that was the case, getting shot in an inverted location is still a shot to the... That's true. And especially in a time when medicine was probably not very good. Like, it's probably still would have been like a bad news. Any shot was a bad news shot, probably. But yeah, exactly, Green Yoshi. Win. So, after wiping my tears, I looked down at the piece of cake and noticed something odd. Why does it look like there's a bite missing? Oh!
Baby!
Oh, Yukimaru! With a mouthful of my cake! Sir! Just as I thought. Just as I thought that, Yukimaru appeared, smiling with a bit of chocolate on his lip. You little, yeah. You cheeky boy. Little rat. Little rascal. Scamp. I was about to shout at him, but managed to stop myself.
どうしたの？ケーキに何か入っていた？
No, nothing. My sudden stop made Mom look puzzled, but she quickly brushed it off and returned to her cake. I hadn't noticed that Yukimaru had taken a seat next to me and had happily munched away at my cake. What is this? I'm sandwiched between Mom and Yukimaru. Because I was in front of my mom, I knew I couldn't confront Yukimaru directly. I glared at him, silently mouthing, "What are you doing?"
我もそなたと同じく甘いものが大好物でな。母上のご商売に預かった次第。
Seriously? Mom offered half of her cake to me, not you, Yukimaru. Not the sandwich we wanted to be in the middle of. Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. I shouted the words internally, but Yukimaru paid no mind. I growled under my breath as my mom took another bite of her cake. This is grounds for divorce.
あら、このケーキすごく美味しいわ。あなたはどう？
I wouldn't know what the cake tasted like because of this guy. Definitely, it's great. I haven't even had a bite yet. Seeing as there was an obvious bite out of the cake, I couldn't claim I hadn't tried it.
なかなかに美味である。あのパフェには負けるがな。どれ、もう一口。
I saw his hand reaching over again toward my fork and slapped it away.
あら、もしかして虫でもいた？
He sounds so silly. Mom asked, noticing me swatting at the air. Yeah, a very big bug. A little rat, Mom, no worries.
やだわ。帰ってきて換気で窓を開けた時に入ってきたのかしら。
Mom looked around worriedly, while Yukimaru seemed shocked.
虫？我を虫というなんてひどすぎるのである。
Oh, a bug would have taken a smaller bite of my cake.
ねえ、まだ飛んでる？
No worries, I took care of it. Let's get back to our cake and drama. I smiled and finally took a bite of my cake. You're right, this is delicious. Yukimaru looked upset at me, but I shrugged him off. I have to be vigilant around him. Yukimaru was right, though. As delicious as it was, the cake couldn't beat the cafe's parfait. Still, it's tasty enough to bring a smile to my face.
まあよいか。そなたの笑顔で腹がいっぱいだからの。
That's an insult to bugs, you cake thief! Yukimaru's smile warmed my heart as my mom continued to talk about the drama. I listened happily. I enjoyed the moment with her. The following day, it was the first time my mother had the day off in a while, and so the three of us had breakfast together.
そうそう。翼にはアルバイトのことを話したの？
Mom's question caught me off guard just as I was about to enjoy a bite of egg. I paused and set my chopsticks down. I haven't had the chance to tell her yet. I only thought of it yesterday.
なになに？アルバイトって何の話だよ？
Tsubasa leaned in excitedly, her curiosity obviously piqued. It's at that cafe we've been visiting together since we were little kids.
ああ、あんたがよくパフェを絶賛してるあのお店か。
This parfait is becoming part of my character's personality, it seems like. That's the one! I love confectionery, so I decided to start exploring careers with things that really interest me.
ああ、なるほどね。だからあの喫茶店でバイトってことか。確かに、あんた甘いもの大好きだよね。自分の好きなことって意味では、なかなかいい選択じゃない？
I'm still figuring things out, but they say to strike while the iron is hot, so I'm planning to visit there after school.
行動力あるじゃん。いいね。応援する。
Tsubasa looked genuinely happy for me and gave me a supportive slap on the back.
よかった。あんたが自分で見つけた自分だけの道を歩き始めたみたいで。
Thank you. I was giggling and feeling bashful when the doorbell suddenly rang.
あら、こんな朝早くから誰かしら。
With a puzzled look, my mom went to the door and I instantly felt a knot in my stomach. This early, it's gotta be. Sure enough, Yukimaru entered the living room wearing his mortal clothes and a bright smile. Why is he here now?
パティシエの方面で考えると相談をもらっての。
He then placed a stack of pamphlets on the table. Anything for cake, yeah. Curious, I picked up the top one and found it was for a vocational school specializing in training pastry chefs. You gathered all these last night?
まあ、こんなに調べてくださったのね。ゆきまろさん、ありがとうございます。
I think any parent would be weirded out that it's like, you are here first thing in the morning with a bunch of pamphlets for my underage daughter? Seems a bit sus. Oh, she knows? Yeah. They've met before, but he was like, oh, I'm her mentor. Don't worry.
おお、すごいですね。妹のためにありがとうございます。
My mom and Tsubasa were impressed, examining each of the pamphlets with interest.
これくらいなんてことないのである。
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Why don't you have a seat? Yukimaru beamed, clearly proud to have made a favorable impression on my mom and sister. I couldn't contain my surprise at the sheer number of materials he'd gathered. Thinking back on it, he got up and left the room just after the incident with the cake. And here I thought he left because I wouldn't share any more cake with him. That probably helped. He's trying to guilt you. He's trying to gaslight you. He's just like, I'm gonna make her feel really bad for kicking me out around cake. And then she's gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me buy you a piece of cake. And then I get cake. I had no idea he was up to something like this. Gathering so much information in one night must have been very difficult. Yukimaru's always one step ahead of me. But why did he choose to come by now? He could have waited to give these to me when we were alone.
あいつ、朝っぱらから何やってやがる。
Right? Oh, Koharu's here too. Koharu shook his head in disbelief. Yukimaru glanced at us with a warm smile, then turned his attention back to Koharu.
彼女のことはこの我にお任せしてほしいのだ。
Why did it sound like he was challenging someone?
あ？なんだあいつ。俺になんかあるのか？
I recalled Yukimaru leaving the house in tears. Don't tell me he's doing all this because my mom and sister were gushing over Koharu earlier. Oh, that's right. He got a little jelly. I stared at Yukimaru, who was beaming with pride, before he strode over and whispered in my ear.
どうじゃ。我の方が頼りになる男であろう。
His smug expression made me burst out laughing. Sure, whatever you say. It's impossible to stay mad at Yukimaru. He's just too adorable.
たく、勘弁してくれよな。
My laughter continued as Koharu sighed and walked away. Meanwhile, my mom and sister are still standing there, looking at me laughing at nobody, except...
よかったらゆきまろさんも朝食を食べていってください。あまり凝ったものはありませんけど。
それは嬉しいの。遠慮なくご商売に預かるとしよう。
sat beside me and gladly accepted the large bowl of rice my mother offered him.
家族団らんの時間にかたじけないの。
いえいえ、人数が多い方が楽しいですから。それにしても、ゆきまろさんって不思議な言い方をしますよね。古風というのかしら。
It's true, Yukimaru did tend to speak in more old-fashioned terms, especially when compared to Koharu. Mom and Sis are calling up the sanitarium to leave open a room for us. It's like, you should work there, in a padded room. I guess Toka speaks that way too sometimes. Then I remembered that Koharu called Yukimaru a former god. Maybe Yukimaru's old-fashioned speech comes from the fact that he's a god. One of these days, I'd really like to ask him about that.
あ、そうだ。ディスプレイいつ見に来てくれる？
I'll visit after school tomorrow since the part-time job isn't settled yet. Seeing as I might get busy with a job, I should probably go sooner rather than later. I'm excited to see her work. She's put so much effort into it.
姉上はどのようなお仕事をしているのだ？
Milady! Oh, I guess I never told Yukimaru about it.
若い女性向けのアパレルショップで働いていて。
ふむ。
Oops, you just said I see. Yukimaru seemed genuinely interested as Tsubasa explained the ins and outs of her job. I watched as my mother smiled and got up to make a pot of tea. Asian guy, hello, welcome! Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. We are getting a part-time job in our game. We're gonna work at a place that makes parfaits, because everybody likes parfaits. Hope you're doing well. This feels so surreal. Yukimaru here, chatting with my family over breakfast as if it's the most natural thing in the world. This is so comforting. I was filled with happiness as I watched him fit in seamlessly with these moments with my family. Sorry, a little bit of yawn. After finishing breakfast, I went out with Yukimaru.
学校までお供するぞ。せっかく人の姿になっていることだし、良い機会だからの。
That's really sweet of you, thanks. Grateful for his offer, I agreed. Together we strolled along the path to school. The weather was perfect, and feeling the newfound support of my family put a smile on my face. Yet Yukimaru seemed to be acting somewhat awkwardly. What's gotten into him? Curious, I noticed him extending his large hand out towards me.
せっかくだし、手を。
Aww, we're gonna hold hands. I froze for a moment, then flushed. No, we can't. Someone might see us. I quickly shot down his suggestion, and Yukimaru's face fell with disappointment.
このような機会はもうあまりないのに。
I instantly knew what he meant. His words hit hard. Seeing me like this, Yukimaru cocked his head.
なんじゃ？忘れているのか？そなたを幸せにしたら、我はここを去らねばならん。
I know. I didn't forget. Hearing him say it out loud, though. I guess our time together really is coming to an end. A whirlwind of emotions hit me. I felt lonely, sad, upset.
そなたはもう立派に己の道を歩もうとしておる。我はこうなってくれて嬉しい。
Stop that! I blurted out the words. I quickly realized how loudly I'd shouted them. I glanced up at Yukimaru, who was blinking at me in shock. That was... As I struggled for words, Yukimaru's expression softened, and he gave me a knowing smile.
そなたの気持ちはわかる。我もいろいろ考えたのだ。そなたとこの先も一緒にいるにはどうすればよいのか。だが、ないのだ。人とあやかしが共に同じ時を過ごせる方法はな。
tone was gentle yet firm, highlighting just how set in stone our future was. Yukimaro wants to stay with me? A mix of joy and sorrow hit me, knowing we both desired something impossible. I must look so upset right now.
だから今、こうしていられる時を大事にしようと思う。
He took my hands, holding them firmly.
どんな瞬間でもそばにいよう。そなたの瞳に我が映っていられるまで。
He's right. We should cherish the time we have left. I nodded and Yukimaro smiled, easing my troubled heart. If we have to part, I want to remember me happily smiling. If the ever-optimistic Yukimaro said there was no way for us to be together, then it must be true. It seemed like our best option was to enjoy every moment we had together, until the very last second. As we looked into each other's eyes, a sound nearby caught our attention. I turned toward the noise and saw Sayaka. Her bag had hit the ground, and she looked utterly shocked.
まさか雪丸さんとそういう関係だったなんて。
Ooh, mind your business, Sayaka. Be cool, be cool. If he says we cannot be together, it must be true. Root over. This is... We'd been gazing into each other's eyes and holding hands. It was only natural for Sayaka to assume we were a couple. We are. Give me a kiss! I scrambled to think of an explanation.
さやか殿、おはよう。
Yukimaro greeted her with his usual bright smile.
おはようございますって、そうじゃない。二人はいつの間に恋人同士に。
Dating? No, we're not. I quickly denied it, and Yukimaro looked taken aback, his hand desperately clutching mine.
違うのか?
No. Actually, so there's a VTuber group I like. There's a bunch of Niji-sanji VTubers that are really funny, and they recently did like a I don't know, I don't want to call it a variety show, but basically like two of them were kind of like we're having like a little couch podcast kind of show where they had sent out questionnaires to some of the other Niji-sanji Japanese VTubers with like what if scenarios, and then they had two other VTubers act out the scenarios, and they were really, really funny actually. So it would be like situations like this where it's just like you're walking with somebody and it's this person's not your girlfriend, girlfriend or boyfriend yet, or this person's not your girlfriend or boyfriend, but clearly something is happening, but somebody comes up to you and is just like, oh hey, it's good to see you, is this your girlfriend? And so like they had to like fill in the blank on like how they would like respond, and then like I said, the other two VTubers acted it out, and it was really funny. It was well acted, it was very clever, it had some silly moments, and it had some like, oh, that was smooth. So this is one of those moments where it could have been smooth, but it wasn't. So I'll post that later because it's very, very good. I like it a lot. So you want a bus? No, please use the modern word. Yukimaro looked like a scolded puppy, sad and confused. No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I care about Yukimaro, and I know he cares about me, but it's complicated.
どっちなの?
どっちなのじゃ?
Caught off guard by Sayaka and Yukimaro's interrogation, I hesitated. How do I explain this? How to explain? I've only just realized how I feel. We're not dating yet. See, that was one of the smooth moves from the video I was talking about, so. I've only just realized how I feel. I'm not sure.
なんだ、意識してるなら、それ。
Well, as I stood next to Yukimaru, I felt like I couldn't be completely honest about it. Blushing, I searched for the right words and heard Yukimaru's voice press for answers too.
そうじゃそうじゃ、そういうことじゃ。
ゆきまるさんはどうなんですか？
Sayaka realized I was being evasive and turned to Yukimaru.
我は決まっておる。好きでたまらないのだ。
Aww, I like that. Yay, Yukimaru. Yukimaru announced with pride.
それじゃ、もう恋人同士ですね。
そういうことじゃな。
Yukimaru agreed with a confident nod, and Sayaka let out a little squeal of joy and clapped. You guys, don't gang up on me like that. My initial happiness at Yukimaru's words faded, replaced by exhaustion at their antics. Betrothed, menace, yeah. I don't know, Sayaka's helping us a little bit though. She made him declare, so. Yukimaru and Sayaka continued to giggle all the way to school. Oh, Yukimaru perspective. Being alone with Lolli is wonderful, but walking to school with her friend is nice too. What was that? What was that?
それにしても、いいなぁ。
declare.
ゆきまるさんみたいな大人な恋人がいたら、いろいろ相談できて、力になってくれそう。
Oh, Sayaka. Oh, Sayaka is truly wise. Can we stop with the boyfriend talk? Lolli still won't accept it.
我が恋人なのがそんなにも嫌なのか？
It's not that. It's just... What's this? So you're telling me there's a chance, Lolli? A hopeful warmth blossomed in my heart. I just think we should talk about it first. I see. So a verbal declaration is in order. It seemed like this wasn't the proper place. One must consider atmosphere.
わかっ
Sorry, I keep pressing.
わかったのだ。
What do you mean? Lolli looked puzzled, but I'll keep it quiet for now. It'll be far more fun to surprise her, 'cause she loves surprises. Yes, I'll make it a declaration she'll never forget. I'll propose to her and on the Jumbotron in front of her family.
今はまだ秘密じゃ。
Huh?
では二人ともしっかり勉学に励むのじゃぞ。
今度会うときは、ぜひ二人の馴れ初めを。
While invisible. Sayaka, let's go! Lolli hurriedly pulled Sayaka away. I watched the two of them leave and smiled. Before entering the building, Lolli glanced back at me. She checked her surroundings and then waved stealthily at me. Look how adorable she is. I can see the flush on her cheeks from here. So very endearing.
あと何度こうして見送れるか。
Making my master happy is my purpose, and yet that means we'll have to say farewell. Perhaps the ache in my heart shows just how immature I really am. Or he could just do things to just diminish her full happiness, but still maintain a good amount of happiness. Like, not full happiness, but like pretty full. No, don't do that. That's crazy talk. That's what crazy people do. I heard a really crazy story. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before, but it was this guy who somebody had a vendetta against him. So no matter wherever he'd work, somebody would call and complain or leave reviews about him, particularly at on the website, and it just followed him everywhere he went. And he's just I'm not that person. Like, I'm working really hard, so somebody's just really upset, and it was really like kind of like, taking its toll on him, and so he would confide in his girlfriend, and she was always like super sweet about it and very comforting, and then one day, she was in the shower or something, and her phone like made a ding, and like earlier that day, his boss was just like, "Hey, I got to complain about you," and he's like, "Somebody's after me," and he saw the review and the username under it. So, anyways, the boss believed him, sent him home though, and then but her phone dinged and it said, "Oh, that username, the manager has left a response," and it was her, or that's how the story started, and he was just like, "This is freaking me out." And so he wanted to like be sure, because he's like, this is crazy. So he didn't confront her immediately, but there was like something like the next day that he was just like, "Hey, I need to like, book something. Can I use your can I use your computer?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And so and she went to work. So I guess they lived together or something. Yeah, they did live together. And so he's just like, "Okay, I'm going to book it." And so while she was like getting ready, he found he found these like spreadsheets of like all the places that she had contacted, what usernames she was using, all the passwords for all these usernames, and like it was crazy. So he just let her go to work. He packed all of his stuff and called his dad, and like, he just didn't even. I don't disagree with that line of thinking. I think some people would be like, I would confront it and be like, "Why are you doing this?" But it's at a level that's like so crazy that like it's like you're not going to understand it. That's how I would feel. Like I would just be like, I need to be safe, and I am not safe here. So I would not really confront it. And I don't know that there would be any, like, I don't know that it would give me any kind of peace to be like, why did you do that? Because the only answer that they would be able to come up with is because I felt like it, because I could, because I'm crazy, or maybe they would try and be like, because you did something, and it's like, well, I don't think so, but okay. And even if I did something, that's a crazy response. So yeah, man, stalkers are crazy, man. Stalk it to them. But yeah, the end. So that is to say, people be cray. All right, back to our game where we're just talking to the air. The time left with Lolli is short. Oh, but anyways, that I was just saying that it's like he could sabotage her happiness a little bit, but that's not what we want. That's not how we want this. So there's not a moment to waste. To be with Lolli forever, that is merely a fairy tale.
今日の帰りにまた迎えに来ようかな。明暗じゃ。そうしよう。
Perhaps that will bring her a little joy. Yay! Yay! Then, after school, Sayaka had teased me all day and I was feeling exhausted. I should hurry to the cafe. When the last bell rang, I dashed out of school. Lolli! Oh, Yukimaru! What are you doing here? Perspective. Protagonist.
喫茶店に行くのであろう。我も付き合うぞ。
That's fine, but I'm going there to ask for a job. We won't be getting any parfaits.
失礼であるぞ。我は甘いものよりそなたが大事だというのに。
His words made my heart race, yet I wasn't swayed by them because... Excuse me? Who was the one who stole a piece of my cake last night, even though I was having a serious talk with my mom?
それはそれ、これはこれ。張り切って喫茶店に向かうぞ。
This guy. Oh, eager to avoid the topic, are we? prove it, Yukimaro, by letting us eat this parfait without stealing it. I'm gonna order the parfait, and I'm not gonna eat it. We're just gonna watch it melt. Because we're monsters. I wonder if it's appropriate to have someone tag along when asking for a job. Well, as long as he doesn't get in the way. Still feeling somewhat anxious, the two of us made our way to the cafe. Though I often visited this cafe, coming here to ask for a job made the whole thing feel different.
一色さん、お待たせ。僕に用事があるってスタッフから聞いたけど。
The owner greeted us with his usual warm smile. I'm sorry for dropping in unannounced. When I told him I was looking for a part-time job and that I'd already gotten my mom's permission, his face lit up.
君が手伝ってくれるなら大助かりだよ。でも、うちはそんなに時給が高い方とは言えないんだけど、それでもいいかな。
This cafe is where I want to work. Also, this is my first job, so I'm a bit unsure of myself. But this place means a lot to me, and I'd love the opportunity to be part of a team here.
そうかそうか。それは嬉しいな。今月はシフトが出てしまっているから、来月からになるけどいいかな。
Absolutely. That sounds great. I'm really looking forward to it. As I reveled in the moment, the owner's gaze shifted past me.
一色さん、この人は？
おお、我の紹介がまだであった。我は彼女の恋人。
He's my friend. Yukimaro seemed a bit sulky with that answer, but he kept his composure.
初めてのアルバイトだから心配ですよね。何かあれば、いつでも彼女の様子を見に来てくださって大丈夫ですよ。
The cafe owner seemed to accept my explanation, and he smiled at Yukimaro.
お言葉に甘えて見守らせていただこう。頻繁に様子を見に来るだろうからな。
Stalker! Even after we part ways, the thought popped into my mind and put a damper on my mood.
じゃあ、雇用契約ってほどじゃないけど、いつから働くかとか、お給料のこととか決めちゃおっか。
Actually, I need to submit a work approval form to my school. Would you mind filling out this form?
うん、もちろんだよ。
He guided us to a table to begin the paperwork. As he looked at Yukimaro, something seemed to click, and he smiled.
どこかで見たことがあるなって思っていたんだけど、こないだ2人でうちに来ていませんでしたか？
I was at a loss for words. No. Did he notice Yukimaro's enthusiastic reaction to the parfait last time we were here?
それは大変美味なるパフェをちそうになった。
Yukimaro beamed with satisfaction, eliciting a laugh from the owner.
褒めてもらえて嬉しいです。それじゃあ、アルバイトが決まった記念に今日はサービスで2人に出しますよ。
Two parfaits! Wow! What? Oh no, you really shouldn't. I tried to decline politely, but Yukimaro nearly leapt up from his chair.
それはまことか？
ええ、もちろんですよ。
Oh, that's sweet. Yukimaro? I attempted to scold him, but the owner quickly went to the kitchen. I feel a bit guilty about this. Is this really okay?
こういう人の行為には素直に甘えてよいのじゃ。
Yes, that I would do that too. Best to accept the kindness of others.
あのオーナーとやらは人に美味しいものを食べてもらうのが喜びじゃからな。
Yukimaro casually sipped his water, showing no doubt in his words. He must have sensed the owner's aura. After a short wait, the owner returned with a tray holding two parfaits.
ちょうど試作品を考えてたところだったんだ。食べた後に感想を聞かせてもらえると嬉しいよ。
A new recipe? I was overjoyed, then suddenly felt embarrassed at my animated outburst.
喜んでくれているみたいでよかったよ。
It's a mac and cheese and beets parfait. I hope you like it. I'm sorry, it's just your parfaits, they're always so delicious.
そういう君だからこそアルバイトに誘ったんだ。 君はいつも笑顔で食べてくれるからね。うちの味を美味しいと思ってくれているからこそ、お客様にもメニューの説明をできる。そう思ったんだ。
Beef liver wrapped in wet goat fur parfait. At least the things I said were edible. I mean, I guess everything's edible at least once. I never realized he saw me that way.
そういえば、君のお父さんもそうだったな。いつも帰るときにこう言ってくれたんだ。美味しいものを食べさせてくれてありがとうって笑顔をくれてね。今でも心に残っているよ。
That's sweet. Even now?
お客様の笑顔を感じることはあるけど、言葉をかけてくれる人はなかなかいないからね。
Express gratitude. He's right. I glanced at Yukimaro. I realized there were feelings I hadn't put into words for him. I wonder if I say these things to him, will my words stay in his heart?
どうしたのだ?
Oh, it's nothing. Turning back to the owner, I decided to ask him something I'd been curious about. Would it be possible for me to observe in the kitchen? I'm interested in seeing how everything is prepared. I would do it when I'm not working, of course.
見学だけなら全然いいよ。でも、どうしてだい?
I'm curious about the preparation and ingredients. That's part of why I wanted to work here. I'm gonna make a rival cafe. Just kidding. I was candid with the owner, who responded with a supportive nod.
そういうことなら力にならないとだね。
Thank you so much. I was thrilled that he agreed. He could have told me no and that his methods were secret, but the fact that he didn't made me very happy.
よかったの
Yes, it really is.
と、アイスが入っているから早くパフェを食べた方がいいよ。食べ終わる頃に説明をしに来るね。
Okay, thank you. On our way home from the cafe, I wish I could spend a bit more time alone with Yukimaro. How about we take a walk before we head home?
いい提案じゃな。乗った。
I'm glad. Let's go. I was overjoyed he agreed, but it only made me want to spend more time with him, making me feel a bit greedy. I want to hold his hand. After holding back so much earlier, I found myself being cautious. But if I don't hold his hand now, I might regret it. I hold his hand. Probably. Let me see. I'm gonna say hold his hand. Seems right. That's correct. I reflected on my history with Yukimaro. I realized I've always been the one to let him make the move first. I can't always be waiting on him. I let out a long breath to calm myself. Yukimaro was walking next to me, so I reached out and took his hand in mine. I'm so embarrassed. I can't even look at him.
幸せなのだ。
Encouraged by his words, I finally dared to look at him. He was beaming, his cheeks stained pink. Aww.
そなたと一緒にいて幸せでなかったことはないかもしれん。時には悲しいこともあったが、この今の幸せのためだったと思えば、すべてが良き思い出なのじゃ。
Yukimaro's gaze was filled with such warmth and affection. It filled me with an overwhelming sense of happiness. You were hoping he would make a silly face? Nah. I feel the same way. He would often say that, as a guardian spirit, his role was to guide people to happiness. But I'm not sure if that's quite right. I don't think Yukimaro led me to happiness. He is my happiness. I feel like I can talk to him now. I decided to tell him what I realized back at the cafe. Yukimaro? I called out to him. Just seeing him turn around and look at me filled me with a bittersweet joy. I knew these moments were fleeting. I think we only have a little time left, right? To be together like this? His eyes seemed to reflect melancholy hues, swirling as they stared back at me. I met his gaze and continued. This morning, I was too shy to say yes when you asked to hold my hand, and in front of Sayaka, I hid my true feelings. But I've decided to change that. I don't want to live with regrets. No regrets! I knew it was time to follow my heart. I needed to share my feelings with him. Otherwise, I might regret it forever. I want to embrace every moment we have left. Will you do that with me? Yukimaru seemed to freeze, and time stood still for a moment. Then, a few seconds later... Hey, what are you doing? You can't hug me now. People are watching. No regrets. No starting a family with him. You're not the boss of me. No matter how much I knew I'd regret telling him no, I wasn't ready for him to hug me in public.
なんじゃ釣れないの。まあでもいいのだ。
Yukimaru's grip on my hand tightened. It was as if he was saying he never wanted to let go, and I felt elated. I squeezed his hand. I wanted him to know I felt the same. We wandered without direction until we reached Beachfront Park.
ここまで来ると潮風を感じていいの。
Doesn't it? Hey, should we stop by the shrine?
それもいいな。
We entered the compound, but I couldn't find the priest. The gold and red colors of the sunset cast a warm glow on the grounds. I realized we were alone. Yukimaru laid down and stretched out his arms. You're like a little kid.
そなたも我のように。
In mid-sentence, I felt Yukimaru's hand jolt in mine. Yukimaru? I looked up, wondering what was wrong, to find his expression grave. He was frozen.
少しそばを離れても構わぬか。
Sure, but is something wrong?
今しがた座敷わらし協会から呼びかけがあってな。すぐに協会事務所まで来いということじゃ。
Does that mean... As his hands started to slip away, a panic surged through me, and I quickly grasped his hand. The joy I'd felt before suddenly vanished. It was as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over me. Cold, nervous sweat trickled down my back. Why now? I gasped when the realization hit me. I found my path. I have a new job I'm excited about, and I'm happy. It was over.
大丈夫じゃ。必ず帰ってくる。
Yukimaru tried to comfort me, gently stroking my head. When?
すぐじゃ。夜にはまた会える。
He looked into my eyes, his resolve clear. There wasn't even a hint of deceit in his eyes. Yukimaru would return. We'd see each other soon. But what if this is goodbye?
気休めを言うつもりはないからはっきり言うが、覚悟だけはしておいてほしい。
Yukimaru's voice was quiet, and his expression calm, as if he had already accepted the fate he knew was coming. I knew I had to accept it too, but I was unable to respond. I knew this was going to happen eventually. I needed to tell him I understood. I needed to tell him that I was prepared. I didn't want to trouble him. Yukimaru released my hand without waiting for my response.
今からすることを許してほしい。
And then he murdered me. With that, his face slowly approached mine, and I knew what he was going to do. My mind went blank. I couldn't think. But I knew I wanted him to do this. We're gonna get a kiss! And so I closed my eyes. Woo! Woo! Silently, our lips met. My heart pounded loudly in my ears. Feeling Yukimaru so close, all my embarrassment faded and was replaced by pure bliss. The boss is real. He was so close, and it felt like our hearts were one. He'd brought me so much happiness. Yet nothing like this. I love you. I hoped my lips would convey these words to him. No. Once our kiss ends, I'll tell him. I don't want to live with regret. Keith, fall in love. The moment our lips parted, I whispered softly to him, I love you. Yukimaru's reaction was a gentle smile without a hint of surprise.
やっと言ってくれたな。
He Star Wars'd us. I love you. I know.
我もいや我はそなたが大好きじゃ。
Aww.
それでは行ってくる。
I gotta kiss and run. Yukimaru vanished instantly. A sharp pang echoed in my heart. Just as he'd appeared so suddenly to me at this very shrine, he left. Moments ago, we were together, as if that was how things had always been. And like that, he's gone. Aww. Right. Get back here, coward! Yukimaru, you are the father! Just kidding. On my way back to see the society, I gently touched my lips. I didn't think she'd let me. The moment she closed her eyes, I'd never felt so elated in all my life. I intended to kiss her forehead, but I couldn't contain myself and kissed her lips instead. Tee-hee! Though I was always prepared to part ways with Lolli, I never desired it. And besides, it would be too presumptuous to think that by leaving her, Lolli would lose her happiness, right?
だがそばにいることはできる。
Even if she could no longer see me, even if we could no longer speak to one another, I could still be near her. However, as I recalled the sad look on her face as I left, I felt as though my heart had been ripped in two. If only I could rush back there and hold her in my arms. But that was impossible. With that thought in mind, I knocked on the Guardian Society spirit's door. It was a spirit meant to bring happiness. I was a spirit. Once I've made my master happy, I move on to the next. All I could do now is pray that her future would be filled with happiness, luck, and light after I left. I wish you every happiness. Oh. Okay, let's save. Let's save. Okay. I will not be able to do 2 chapters tonight. I think my body is fatigued. So, anyways, thank y'all for hanging out with me. Hope you'll have a good rest of your night. And yes, I will be on tomorrow for Study Buddies Lunch, Japanese. So, hopefully we can, learn some things. Okay. Well, have a good night, and we'll talk again soon, okay? Bye-bye. Bye.